What's going on, everybody? It is Luke here again, bringing you another awesome video. Anyway, it's Sunday. Gonna keep it short and sweet. In bed, 8:55. Score. Anyway, just finished up the move as well. Still got to obviously sort through everything, which is going to be tomorrow. I mean, just because you've moved doesn't mean you've actually moved. You know, it's only half of the jigsaw. That doesn't make sense, but yeah. Let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about meltable FBA inventory. Now, you know, I know that Sean in the Facebook group posted something about a video he saw from Wealth Success. I don't know. It was one of the Facebook YouTube channels that you know, talks about Amazon FBA basically. They talked about meltables and having to basically recall chocolate products because of what it says here. So if you actually read it, which I've never really looked at before, I have to say, you know, I've never actually heard of it. It's apparently something that happens in America because it's obviously massive fluctuations in temperature. If you look here, it sort of says what it is, and meltables is pretty obvious stuff that's going to melt. So basically, between October 15th and April 30th of each year, you can sell multiples, but then not after May 15th up till October 15th, I believe. Yeah, so between May the 1st and that is going to be marked as unfulfillable and disposed of, yeah. Now, I sell a decent amount of chocolate, okay? Or stuff that's chocolate based, you know, it might not be literally like a chocolate bar, but it may have something that's related that has chocolate content or something. So, you know, that's still going to melt in theory. So I looked into it a bit more, and there's a couple of things I thought of before I really looked at it. A couple of things is, one, I'll email Amazon and ask them, can you check my catalogue? I didn't know if they'd be able to actually do it, but check my catalogue, see if I can, and see what of my catalogue, what ASINs in that catalogue are linked to multiple inventory. There must be something that they can do, which, because we'll tell them, because for us, you can't tell, can you? It's very, very difficult to tell. Yeah, there's no like designation or section where you go to and it tells you a list. But it doesn't mean that they don't know. Obviously, they must know the ASINs. Now, I sent it. I actually just counted a minute ago how many chocolate products or chocolate-based products I sell. And that means I'm selling at the moment, as in I've got stock, yeah. And it's over 32. I sort of stopped after that point because I just thought there's no point going on. It's a high enough number, yeah. And I then, so obviously I emailed them. And they came back pretty quickly within a day, and they seemed to know what they're talking about. They seemed to, and they gave me the list of ASINs. Ready? Boom. This is number one. Yeah, number one. Horlicks instant chocolate. Now, about all things, this is probably the least likely thing to be able to melt because it's not even. It's like a powder. Yeah, I've never seen a powder melt. But if you got a Bunsen burner or one of those blow torches, I'm sure it would melt. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. So, and you know, I thought, well, maybe there's a way of telling on the ASINs. You know, really, can you tell? I mean, last year, I mean, you sort of can. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not really. And again, you know, until the date comes, which is the 15th, which is in what, 3 days, it'll be an unknown if this actually happens like that. Yeah. Like, will it actually go? You know, this is the thing. Amazon say things, but until it actually happens, you don't really know. So I will, you know, if anything changes outside of what I'm saying in this video, I will do another video, an update. If I don't need to do an update, I won't do an update for the sake of it. But of course, you know, we'll see once we get past. So on the 16th, I'll review this, review my basically my products that are unfulfillable and see what happens. And the other item is this. Now, this is probably expected. This is the sort of products I would expect to be a meltable. A bar of chocolate, you know how easy a bar of chocolate melts. That's the most common thing that will melt down, you know, in your car that you've left, you forgot about or whatever, and then you push it, you know, you pick it up and it just crumbles in your hand. The whole thing just like merges, you know. And that is it. That is the only two items that they had told me in an email saying that. So in theory as well, you could go back and say, well, you know, you said this, and they may be able to actually reimburse you because you've got some sort of proof as well. But they seem to be talking, know what they're talking about. And then I thought, well, what if that guy doesn't know what on earth they're talking about, and they just found these two, but there's loads of others. So I thought, well, I've never come across it before, and I'm sure I've sold chocolate before. Now, maybe not the same items, but chocolate, And I definitely, I was selling last year, and like in 2018. So I went into my catalogue, and I then looked at the dates that I created the listings. And a lot of them were done in June, July, for all these chocolate products. Well, hang on a second. I thought, boom, that it is impossible to be able to create these listings and send products in. So it's almost like, it's showing you that a lot of these products do not fall in Meltables. And another reason why is that, one, I never heard of it, and I've never actually heard of it. Let's see if there's like a date on this thing. Is there a date on this thing? No. But anyway, when we submitted before, must be some. I don't know. Destruction of the product. We'll find out. I believe that most of the chocolate-based products will not be affected. If they had come back and told me these two like listens, I'm more confident than not confident that they are telling the truth and they know what they're doing. Because also, Amazon, we know this product, we know what this is, but it's just data to Amazon. Yeah, like they don't have someone that goes and they probably do at some point, but initially they don't really know what ASINs are. What they just they see it as B00D6 DIPLO. Well, what is it? If I said what's that, it could be anything. Literally, it could be a hairdryer. It could it's just a number, a designation. It's not actually Horlicks chocolate. Like it doesn't sort of go on that level. Yeah, it's obviously a professional company. They go off the ASIN, and that's why stuff goes into hazmat now and then. Because even though this could go into hazmat, you're thinking, well, why the hell is Horlicks going into hazmat? It's because they don't actually know what this is as a product until they actually do a hazmat review. A guy waiting for this product to hazmat review, he doesn't have a clue what's going to come, even though he'll have, say, the ASIN. Yeah, we would obviously look at the photo, but that's sort of customer facing side of things rather than the back end side. So also that side of things, that's why things go in and out of hazmat, because Amazon are just checking that this is Horlicks, because they don't actually know until they hazmat review it. The guy will go, oh, clearly this is not going to be hazardous, and that's why then it comes out of hazmat. But obviously initially it does go into hazmat. So sort of based on the same thing. Like, it's like saying, well, how will they ever know that this isn't meltable or not meltable? I mean, out of all things, this is probably the least thing. And I've got over 30 odd products that are chocolate based, and a lot of them I was selling last year. That is the biggest thing for me. And I created new shipments with these chocolate products as a test. So I went in and just added like anything I could think of to a shipment, went as far as I could, and then just deleted the shipment. And it let me get through, obviously, and I just deleted the shipment at the end. And I thought, I'm pretty sure it says you can't. Anyway, you read this, it basically says well, it says it'll be marked as unfulfilled after, I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. So for me, I think it is there, but it's not enforced. The way of them knowing what is and what isn't meltable is very, very basic. So really, I would say don't worry about it. Of course, when the actual date comes, I might find that all 32 of my items are suddenly just gone, but I don't believe so, just because I had that listing for so long and I've never had problems, and luckily I've had the listings long enough that I shouldn't have been able to sell them last year. And again, the product this multiple FBA inventory may only have come into force this year, so last year it was okay. That's possible, but because they came back and said only these two, I'm going to add all of this information together and come up with the sort of my feelings on it, I guess, is that we'd be fine. Yeah, you may get the odd thing here and there, but I'm not going to be too worried. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave these products and see what happens. because I generally just don't. I don't, until I see it, I don't really know. So it'll be interesting to see. So, a lot of people are getting scared, panic selling, crashing the prices to sell them, recalling products. I would say there are going to be some products, as I've already shown, but most of the time we should be fine. Anyway, going to leave it there. Have happy Sunday, happy whatever, happy week. Hopefully this has just given you a little bit more information just to sort of then make your own decision. Yeah, I mean, you may want to just recall the products, even though it says you should have done it by May 1st, but so ignore that. Or you may want to leave it in there and test, and then you definitely know for next year, or whatever or you want to crash the price and sell what you can, but then actually maybe have some left over and see if it still works, and if it does, then for next year again. So use to take the information how you want, and push forward from there. Have a great day, have a great evening, and I'll see you on the next one.